Oh, you're recording? No. Well, welcome back to part 2, block day. I quite like this lesson, part of the lesson. It's gonna be fun. 13.4 vectors. You're gonna want to use graph paper. I've done this twice now. I even messed up on graph paper. Use graph paper and be neat with your graph paper. A vector basically means you start somewhere, you go to somewhere, and you kind of end right there. Now it's a little deceiving because you're like, oh, the arrow, it goes on forever. It just stops where it stops right there. So a vector, it's got two things going for it. Has magnitude, which in our case is basically the length, which is basically the distance. We learned the distance formula, so we're going to use that dude. And direction. It goes that way. Not this way, but that way. Two things, magnitude and direction. Cool. So, in the book, they give us an example. They give us the point P, which is at -5, 4, and Q is at 1, 2. So, if I graph that, P -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, and Q 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. There it is. So, they want to find three things. They say sketch, fat pen, sketch PQ, vector PQ. B, they want us to find vector PQ. You'll notice I did this bad, but it's the vector sign is that. It's not like a full arrow, it's like a this and then the top half arrow. And then C, find, this looks like the absolute value of PQ. But when they say that, that means find the distance, code for find the distance. So sketch PQ, if I start at P, I go to Q, doom, that's it. Just make sure you get your arrow right. You're starting at P, going to Q, you're not going this way. Now this is where I differ from your book. Find vector PQ. Those are basically your directions X and Y, and if you start at P, and you could only go in the X and Y direction, not diagonal, how many steps would you go? Your book uses parentheses. No. It's like these symbols. Okay, not parentheses. So, if I start at P and I go to Q, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the X, and I go down 1, 2. That's it. Bracket 6, comma, -2, bracket. PQ, find the distance from these dudes. Remember, Mr. Hill is bad at mental math, so he always labels his coordinates. The formula for distance, hopefully you remember, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So, x2, 1, minus x1, -5, be careful, plus y2, 2, minus y1, 4, squared. Run out of room here. Still showing, going strong. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 squared, 2 minus 4, -2 squared. Now be careful if you enter this into a calculator. Use your parentheses. Anything that comes out of this should be positive. So if you just type in -2 squared, you'll get a -4. Not what you want. It's going to be 36 plus 4, square root of 40. Square root of 40, is that reducible? 5 times 8. Any other numbers? Do our factor tree. 5 and 8, 4 and 2. That's still showing. kind of, yes. Oh, the 4 and 10. So that reduces to 2 square root of 10. And that is your distance of that vector. You know how to find things if they're parallel or perpendicular. You find their slopes and compare them. If they're the same, they're parallel. If they're negative reciprocals, like 2/3 and negative 3/2, they're perpendicular. The other thing is vectors can be added together. Super cool. So, for example, let's just say that this is a different one, but I still use PQ. PQ plus QR, right? So PQ is 4, 1. QR is 2, 3. And what would that equal? So, if you go on a graph, okay, and I started here, and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, right? I would go right there. If from there, I was like, yo, there's this really good deli on the next street, just gotta go over 2 and 3, you would go over 1, 2, and you'd go up 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you get there, and then you're like, yo, this spot's lit, man. You gotta get here. But your buddy, he's still way back here. And he's like, yo, how do I get there? Hit me up with them deets. Like, I got you, fam. It's been a long week, guys. I'm sorry. So he wants the straight shot, right? He don't want the long way. He wants the short way, straight there. So that dude gets the fast route. Has to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the directions you gave him with brackets. So, equals, if we called this was P, Q, R, right? He didn't have to go to PQ and then from Q to R. He just went straight there to R. You just add 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 3 is 4. Your answer is 6, 4 brackets. That's it. Is it Friday yet? I'm not sure it's Friday yet. Gosh dang it, there's more! Alright, see you in the next one, guys.